That is right. It is a holiday season and I am so giddy of excitement over here. It's finally Christmas time. As you can tell, my tree is finally up. You will see a decorate with me at some point later. But for this vlog, we are doing a 24-hour holiday readathon to get us into the Christmas spirit, and I honestly could not be more excited. My husband is currently away on a business trip in the state of California, all the way across the states right now. And I thought, what better time than to have a best friend sleepover and read holiday books. Not only a sleepover, but hopefully a 24-hour readathon. So while my house is quiet and there's no distractions, I thought I would invite my friend Kendal over, not to only keep me company because it's way too quiet here without my husband, but also just to have like a fun holiday time. Like I said, get us in the Christmas spirit. So we are hopefully going to be reading as many Christmas books as possible today, tomorrow, Sunday. She's gonna stay the night with me tonight. We'll probably watch like a holiday movie, drink some cocoa, do all of the fun holiday things. But I do have a couple Christmas priority books on my list that I'm going to walk through with you guys, and I had a hard time choosing what my first Christmas read was gonna be this year, and I think I decided to just go with a tried and true Courtney Walsh book. This one is actually part of a series. It's like a 1.5 novella in between the first and the second book, but this looks so stinking cute, and I read 2 Courtney Walsh books last year and instantly fell in love with her. I read My Phony Valentine earlier this year, and I love anything that she puts out. I loved Isadora Bentley, so I have no doubt this one is going to be so much fun. So I was like, you know what? It's super short. It's only 162 pages. The font is really big. This one is set in Nantucket, where there's like a matchmaker, and the girl that's a matchmaker is going off island for vacation, and I don't know, something happens to where she falls in love. I'm not too sure how the romance kind of develops in this book, but we're gonna find out together, so I will keep you updated as I go along. I think this is going to be my first read. I also have One Christmas Morning by Rachel Greenlaw, which is a brand new debut romance holiday book that I'm also very excited about because it has magical realism elements in it that I am so excited for. It's about our main character Eva, who is kind of a workaholic, and she has a hard time celebrating the Christmas season. One of her friends invites her and her husband to go to like a week-long Christmas party basically, but she's really not enjoying herself, and so she decides to try to go back to London in the middle of the night, but she actually has an encounter with the ghost of her dead grandmother, and from there she wakes up the next morning, Christmas morning, and it's kind of like a Groundhog Day effect where I think she keeps living the same Christmas morning over and over again. So it kind of sounds like a Scrooge retelling, maybe a little bit of a Christmas Carol theme in here, but I'm honestly very excited about that because I love A Christmas Carol. I've heard great things for this being a brand new debut, so I'm hoping to get to this one as well. I always have a graphic novel for every single readathon I do. If I get tired of listening to books or reading words on a page, I love to have a quick graphic novel at hand, and this time I chose Lights by Brenna Thumler. Truth be told, there's not a lot of wintry graphic novels out there, but I do love Brenna Thumler. Loved Sheets, loved Delicates. I really can't tell you much about what this is about though, because it does pick up where the second book left off, but I do know this has wintry cozy vibes. There's snow in there, and I just love Brenna Thumler's illustration style. I know this is going to be another incredible story by her. I do have a couple other options though that are very short, quick, easy books. We're going for like as much as we can read in this video, and one of them is Peter Swanson's The Christmas Guest, I believe it's called. I know absolutely nothing about this book, but the audio is only 2 hours long, so if I am just like having trouble staying awake or paying attention and I really want to get in another book or something, this is definitely going to come in clutch. And one last book that has been on my radar because I really loved the first one I read, called Beaches, Bungalows, and Burglaries this summer, is the third installment, I believe, in this cozy mystery series. It's called Christmas Criminals and Campers, I think, and I really loved the characters in these stories. They're also super short for being cozy mysteries. They're like 180 pages long. So again, if I'm just craving something quick, something witty, something that's going to keep me engaged and guessing at the mystery, I think this one is going to be a really good time. So these are some of the books that are on my radar for this weekend. I think the way I'm going to approach this 24-hour readathon is just set like a time lapse, and every time I'm reading, just keep the time going. I'm assuming this will go from like Friday, Saturday to Sunday, or maybe I will finish my entire TBR before the 24 hours. Who knows? Because we do have some pretty short books here. But honestly, the goal of this video is just to hang out with my best friend, get in the Christmas spirit, and kick off this weekend with some fun holiday reads. And I cannot be more excited. I've probably said that a million times, but I am so excited. So I hope you guys enjoy hanging out with us for this Christmas bookish sleepover. Kendal is about to arrive pretty soon, but I am just gonna go ahead and start my Courtney Walsh book and see how much I can get read before she gets here. friends, I am back with a report from last night. Last night was so much fun with Kendal to kick off the holiday season. We made little Christmas ornaments, we danced around to Christmas music, we watched Elf, of course. Everybody needs to watch Elf. I feel like that should be the first traditional movie that I watch every single year because it's so funny and it just never gets old. I could quote the whole movie. It's absolutely one of my favorites. But in regards to reading, this is definitely turning more into a weekend vlog. Yes, it is the next day, but the way Kendal and I decided to do like the 24-hour part is we started, I believe, at 2 or 3 p.m. yesterday, like hardcore reading. I had some work to do yesterday morning, so unfortunately I couldn't like get up and read right away. So we started like our time right around 3 p.m. Right now it's right around 2 because I have to go run to get my husband from the airport. So that is why I decided to do it from like 2 to 2 instead of like get up in the morning or start at night or whatever. So we just wanted to see how many pages or how many books we could read within 24 hours, but was still sleeping. I think I still got like 6 hours of sleep. But honestly, I'm still exhausted. I think it's probably like this dreary weather we're having, but I did read 3 books. I read 3 books and all of them were really good. So the first one that I read is A Match Made at Christmas by Courtney Walsh. This definitely took me longer to read than I thought it would. It's 160 pages, I believe. But honestly, I was just completely soaking up the story and enjoying sitting on my couch with the Christmas ambience. It was just so cozy. So it took me a little bit longer to read this, which is totally fine. I'm going to give this a 4.5. And the only reason I say that is because I'm like ranking her other books in my head. I think her first top one is Cross Country Christmas. You can't beat that. Then I think I liked this one better than Merry Xmas. So I think this falls like in between those two, which I think is interesting because I kind of expected like a shorter book to be last because you have less time to get invested in the characters. But let me tell you, I got invested in the characters right from the get-go. This book was so good. If you're looking for something quick and easy to read around the holidays, definitely pick this one up. Or if you just want like a little bit of a taste of Courtney Walsh without totally committing to like a full novel, I feel like this one is the perfect way to go. We have Will and Prue, who actually are really good friends, but obviously they start to develop feelings for each other. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because I don't want to spoil like the kind of twist that was in this that I really enjoyed. But all I can say is this book felt like magic without actual magic happening. This is just kind of like your classic Hallmarky Christmas story, the perfect vibe, lots of hot cocoa, lots of cozy nights on the couch. The couple was talking about Christmas movies. There was a huge Christmas tree festival. Our main character decorated this huge giant Christmas tree, and it was just full of holiday festive cheer. Like, I couldn't have asked for more Christmas in a book. Then I listened to a very short audio called The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson on Everand or Scribd, whatever we're calling it these days. This was okay. This was like a 3 or 3.5 star for me. This was the first time I'd ever read a Peter Swanson book. I'm not sure if this was the right one to start with personally. This one has been getting really good reviews though, so I kind of expected it to be a little bit better, but one of the bigger plot points, I was like, okay, I've seen this done before in mystery thrillers. Wasn't really surprised. We did get like those small cottage Christmassy kind of feels, but like other than that, it wasn't super Christmas in my opinion. This one definitely was a little bit sad. It's not your happy-go-lucky like Christmas book. If you're wanting like a genuine like mystery, this wasn't exactly thrilling for me, but if you're wanting like a Christmas mystery that's just quick and easy, I feel like this would be a good choice. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was like 3.5 for me, but basically our main character, I think her name was Emma, gets invited to like this Christmas party in London of someone that she's always like adored, this girl that she really loved in college, and I think it was her brother who is accused of killing a girl within the town. So of course you go through like your usual mystery thriller kind of eliminating suspects and going through the whole thought process of it could be this person or this person. So I did definitely enjoy parts of that, but overall it wasn't my favorite mystery thriller I've ever read. But by far, I think my favorite book that I read yesterday or within this 24-hour period was Lights by Greta Thumler. This is the final book in the trilogy of her graphic novels. She has Sheets and she has Delicates, and so I can't say too much about it other than the fact that this was the perfect wintry book. And I kid you not, the main character's birthday was November 17th. Literally yesterday was November 17th. I was like, this could not have come at a more perfect time. So I definitely recommend reading this book the week before Thanksgiving because that's when it takes place. So I felt like that was so hilarious. I definitely did not intend to do that. But the illustration style and the humor in this, you guys, I was cracking up, just laughing out loud. And Kendal was like, what in the world? And I had to share it with her because it was just too good. I honestly forgot just how funny this story is, even though these girls are, I think, in 8th grade. They're just so funny and they do the funniest things. One of them, Eliza, is obsessed with the paranormal, and our main character, Marjorie, kind of goes along with her like paranormal investigations. But the overall theme of this book has a lot to do with friendships. And there was a specific quote from the dad that I wanted to read to you guys because I was like, oh my word, this could not be any more true. He said, friendship happens naturally and unexpectedly with people you don't have to think twice about. I think that is so true. I have had so many friendships in my life that unexpectedly pop up out of nowhere, but they're now my best friends. They weren't necessarily people like I was pursuing. It just naturally happened. We naturally clicked, and now they're like sisters to me. It made me emotional reading that because I saw what Marjorie went through. I honestly feel like these books are a little bit more young adult than they are middle grade. They always have great messages to them. So let this be your sign if you have never heard of the series or you haven't read this one yet. It's the perfect wintry graphic novel and I'm obsessed. So I feel like reading 3 books was a fairly good accomplishment in 24 hours. So the rest of the day, I don't think honestly that I'm going to be able to get to this Ellie Alexander, A Cup of Holiday Fear. I'm honestly just not really in the mood for it, so I might save this for another day closer to Christmas. But I am going to be starting One Christmas Morning today, which I'm very excited about. Obviously, this is turning more into a weekend vlog than 24 hours, but that's okay. We already did like our 24-hour cramming time, so now I get to relax and just enjoy this Christmas book. It's not very long and the audio is on Everand, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into this and we're just gonna have a cozy rest of the day. So I'm gonna take today to finish this and get back with you guys tomorrow on all of my thoughts. Just enjoying a kind of cloudy, moody day as I have been finishing One Christmas Morning, and this was not at all what I expected it to be. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad bad thing, but let me just kind of get into the details and explain to you what I liked about this and what I did not really care for. So first of all, we have Eva, who's the workaholic. She's a perfectionist. She runs her own business. So of course I can relate to that in a big sense with photography, with YouTube, all of that good stuff. She just ran herself into the ground, always thinking about the next thing to plan or do for her business, which I totally get. But on the other hand, it was so annoying with how many times she kept repeating it with the internal monologue. It was just work, 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 work. And I was like, okay, we get it, but where are the Christmas vibes? What I really did love about this book is it's kind of like a Christmas Carol where Eva's almost like the Scrooge, where all she does is work, and she encounters her grandmother, who she is still grieving. She encounters the ghost of her grandmother, who then magically puts her in the bodies of the different hosts of this like Christmas party, and it was super cool because she could see herself through that and see all of her flaws and why her marriage was failing and why her friendships were failing. So I really liked that aspect because obviously in the end she learns a big lesson. I just love A Christmas Carol in general, but I can see why some people wouldn't really like the whole Groundhog Day effect. But the overall theme in this book is very triggering. It was very hard to read even for me. I'm gonna give you guys one word that I don't really consider a spoiler, but if you want to go into this book knowing absolutely nothing, I would skip over the next couple seconds. 3, 2, 1. Miscarriage was a massive theme throughout this book. It kept coming up over and over and over again. It's something the main character has been through. I was definitely having trouble getting through this one, I'm not gonna lie. It was really upsetting, especially one instance that I was like, wow, this is not a happy Christmas book at all. So I would definitely tread lightly going into this. I don't want to sit here and say, oh, this is a happy-go-lucky Christmas book. Like, the Christmas vibes were close to none. They did talk about Elf at one point, which was super funny because Kendal and I also watched that this weekend, so I feel like I couldn't have chose more perfect books. But overall, this was just really sad and really upsetting. I get the overall idea of learning and realizing like your friendships and your relationships are more important than work. You only get to have those once in your life, but I just really wanted like a happy-go-lucky Christmas read, and this definitely explored a lot of grief. There's two really big tropes I hate that were in this book, and one of them was miscommunication, and I just can't between the couple. I was like, just talk to each other, please. So I was really aggravated and frustrated by that, as well as another part of it. I was just like, really? So I think I'm going to rate this a 3. I did keep reading. I was emotionally invested. I did like the Christmas Carol aspect, but it definitely was not what I thought it was gonna be. So if you like a sad emotional read, pick this one up. So overall this weekend I read 4 books in a weekend, which I'm very happy about. I would probably say The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson was my least favorite. These two are probably right around the same. Maybe I liked this one even a little bit more. I am just glad that I got to hang out with Kendal and we got to start off our holiday season with some books, and hopefully we only read happy Christmas books from now on, because this one, whew, it's gonna take me a little bit to recover. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and spending the weekend reading and kicking off the holiday season. Thank you to Kendal for spending multiple nights with me so I was not alone when my husband was away. It was just really nice to have someone to read with and relax with and just hang out with. So Kendal, I love you. If you guys are not following her, you definitely should be. I hope this got you all in the cozy holiday mood, and let me know what your first holiday read is going to be if you haven't already started one, because I need to know if there are any I should add to my own holiday list. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting my channel, and I will see you in my next video.